Ladies and gentlemen, it's a brand new day. We're back into the Sunrise Show. If you're joining us for the very first time, I want to ask you a question. Are you following us on our social media handles? That is at Promise TV UG. Well, today we are diving into the saving culture. Are you saving money, or you are the person that says you want some money urgently? Well, I'm not alone in studio. We do have also my co-hosts. That is Dawn Stewart, Jay the Guru, and Susie the Rich Babe. Interestingly, they were having a discussion of if Susie becomes the president, what would happen?
How would a country led by President Susan look like?
I know, right? I believe I'll be a good president.
You're not even sure.
No.
No, right? What do you mean? You mean your fear?
But Jane, let me tell you. Right now you're talking to your president.
President of
President of what?
Uganda.
Until then.
Someone one day said, there was someone who once said, don't live your dreams.
Oh, definitely.
Keep sleeping. Ladies and gentlemen, hope you're doing well this morning. We are here again.
Don't Stuart, remind us of what you have at Theatre La Bonita.
Theatre La Bonita today, ladies and gentlemen, is the Promise Fellowship this evening. Okuva ku ssaawa 11 paka ssaawa zigenda kubeera bbiri obudde obwo ntera bagamba obudde bwa jaamu obwo. Obudde bwe wali spending mu jaamu jangu obuspending mu kubeerawo kwa Mukama, oba oli musiraamu, oba oli mulokole, oli mukatoliki, oli muanglikano, oba oli musamize, jangu ku Promise Fellowship olunaku lugenda kubeera worth it.
Mukama anaakusisinkanira eyo.
At some point, Stuart sounded like a rapper.
He loves rapping through that thing.
Anyway, by the way, we had a very beautiful time last week, and I really don't want you to miss this evening. It's today. This evening, it's going to be special. Nadala ngo inayo omuntu mulwadde, inabi alusa bikumazeeko emirembe, inabi cancer, oyina endwadde, oyina ebizibu, onoonya omuntu ow'okwogerako naye, onoonya abantu w'onaagenda n'otuula n'owuliriza, omwoyo gwe ne gulyowebwa, onoonya abantu w'onaagenda n'okaaba fuliri, abantu w'onaagenda n'osinza. Naawe aleero nga toyagala bintu bya kkanisa, toyagala bintu bya nze abasumba bantama, naye mpulira njagala Mukama. Tuli ku Theatre La Bonita, si kkanisa. Come and experience the presence of God. Omalogende nga tewali wa kugambye mbw ate kakati tugambe gwani ate ko you get.
Naimwe, do you know it's good to impute righteousness?
President.
I already feel like a president. I already feel like a president. I feel like you're my governor as you had wished.
Angel! I will be your right hand woman.
Katulaba tugera kwongera ku bya ssente. Ente simanyi oba manyi bargaining. Ningi nti atukozesa business.
Financing.
Governor tujja kyogera ko tulaba.
Nza kubanga ndi Minister of Enjoyment.
Ninza okuba nze president ate nze Minister of Enjoyment.
Naye wali obadde otandise bulungi, sooka osengeke bulungi nga bw'obadde.
Yeah, you know temuzija kumulamu banange president. Madam Governor.
Yo.
What's
your what to just was we are too serious.
I say you better tell abantu bali serious.
Bobela serious ebintu biba bizibuzibu.
Speaking about seriousness, kambuze. Mwinayo bu boxi. Ndemtereka sente.
Je buli.
So inayo kama Stuart.
Ngabaka ino okubaawo.
When do you usually break those boxes?
Waliwo akaboxi ke tulina. Tunoneko banange.
Kabaddewo emyaka n'emyaka.
Kaliko kufuna.
Tuwadde tugamba tulina obuboxi. Kandi mbadde ngenda okwasanguza. Akali mu banka temujja.
Omuntu n'alyoka ngakwata mu liiso n'ajja n'akasibula.
But have you ever broken your box for someone because they were in need?
That's the most hurt.
Have you ever done it?
For someone?
I have ever done it, yes.
So now in ekisasa
Banange.
Oko president.
Ndisobola. Ebya presidents ndisobola.
Akajini. Akajini
takamenya
toyinza nakumanya nti jekali tayinza nakamentioninga
agenda somewhere nga promo nga bachwera ko kwireta
She's so disciplined not to
Jini tali disciplined yagamba olwokubanga ali indisciplined
tatambula na
sijataga my goodness naye nga kyenalabye bw'obeera bw'otyo bw'obanga olinga nze abantu nga ffe munange okugenda window shopping therapy n'ogenda n'otambula n'oliisa amaddu nga totambudde na siringi n'ogamba okay
it's fine. Well, our audience is wondering what we have on table today. Trina, Ugandan saving habits, the tradition or versus the modern reality. What is your saving culture? Twagala otoyinge ko tubolire engeri kikolamu obeko ng'oyamba omuntu yenna ayinza kuba nga atulaba. Njagala okozesa namba 0746-050-060 okutusindikira obubaka oba otutagga na social media handles at Promise TV UG on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, or even YouTube. Let's dive into the discussion. Friends, what do you think makes people not to save? Based maybe on research and statistics or your thoughts?
Not to save, but save what?
Because Bank of Uganda did a research and realized that towards the end of the month, usually, abantu badduka ATMs zifreezinga, ATM machines zifreezinga, abantu kwegamba yes, kwegamba wakastafuna credit alert bwati addukirawo, and they realized that people withdraw their money, almost like 60% of it, as soon as it arrives on their account. But the
we think it's the economy.
Yes.
The economy. So many times we've been here talking about the little money that people get, the little wages. Ochimanyi omusala gugenda okujja. Nga waguba gwawuza yawuza mudda.
Mumutwe nga
tonazifuna. You've already separated the money omanyizi zigenda kwa kino zigenda kwa kino. Newesanga even at times you live above your means. Nti ebyetagisa bingi. Naye akasente katini. However much you might want to save, it gets hard sometimes. Unless if you have the discipline, nti yedenezanga tezimala, you will be able to put aside something. And do you know, even when you don't have, you live? There are times when funa sente nengamba, can I try to live the way I was living?
Your brain is
There's a report here from FSD.
FSD.
Yes, exactly. So it is saying in a country whose citizens' saving culture is in its adolescence. Our saving culture is in its adolescence.
The saving culture itself.
Sente wezibuka ngono bwagambye oziba tezinakona ku account nga twaza yawudde mudda. With only 54% of Ugandan adults saving an average of 6,000 shillings. Now, that's why I was asking you to save what?
Ogamba 6,000 at the end of the month or at the end of the week?
Nkugambye ka average.
Average 6,000.
Ntino gwo savings mutwalo. Ona savings gumubiri. Oli savings naye average we bagenda otugatta fenna. Ne bakola average ntino 1 steward plus ne batugatta divide by the number of the participants.
Yes.
The average total is 6,000. Okay. And that is a FinScope report, respectively, that was made in 2018, but I think it changed by 2024. But it is also saying it is commemorating that as we were commemorating the World Savings Day, it provides an opportunity to highlight why saving money is essential. Yes, we understand it is an essential thing, but having the people knowing that the average Ugandan saves 6,000 shillings.
That is
Shimala
still on that same report, Balaganti, 57 Ugandans are not able to sustain themselves for just a week. Now the number continues to grow after like 81% Ugandans failing to at least live in their life. Into where to circle data, you have these savings, you have this culture. But I see Stuart, you want to chip in something.
I just wanted to also add on the same report. Still done by FinScope. According to the survey that was done in 2023, that suggests that Uganda's saving culture is a bit rising, much as adolescent stage, where you have 60% of Ugandans actively saving, but them actively saving, the average money they save is still low. You have 60% of Ugandans saving, but the average Batugambye is 6,000 a month. That is the average centum na Uganda are saving. But also we need to also highlight that we have different kinds of saving here in Uganda. I just wanted to highlight them here. Esooka abasinga gye twettanira ennyo saving at home.
The informal kind of saving.
That is the informal kind of saving. Nina akabox kange nsula 10 yako. Then newabeerawo n'omuntu era asavingire waka nti nina seefu yange waka nteeka omwo sente zange. Kaakati ne tubaawo ne informal saving groups. Ziri informal naye nga ziri collective. Ekibiina zisako zaabwe kati tulinamu gye bayise VSLA oba Village Saving Loan Associations, where members make regular savings, a contribution to common fund and borrow from it. Is a suppose affairs zitera okubeera nabyo mu kyalo. Then tubeerawo ne rotating saving credit associations. Cash rounds zaffe eza bulijjo nti abooluganda bamiitinga ne bawaayo buli omu aleeta zino aleeta omutwalo ku nkomerero y'wa wiiki tugenda kuwa Susan cash rounds zaffe. Then ne tubeerawo ne zetwaliise formal savings. Formal savings, that is in commercial banks, saving cooperatives. Kakati eringa abaji registering it's a world circle nga size ziri ezaffe ez'okukyalo tulinamu SACCOs, also tulinamu ne microfinance institutions oba MFIs ezo nga zitwala deposit ogenda no depositinga. Yes, National Social Security Fund, which is NSSF. Mbadde njagala okusooka okuhighlightinga before we go into them in detail.
Do you know that many Ugandans save without a goal?
Yes.
Without a goal. Most people say, oli muchibina, nange ngatamu. Na oli muchibina. So someone finds themselves muchibina than 5 bibinas. Echa chachi, echa obian oji, echa workplace. And then also maybe echa neighbor. So someone gets stressed to save, but they lack clear goals. But me today, this is what I want to say. There's a difference between savings and emergency fund. Emergency funds zesente zotereka zisobola okuyamba for the next 3 months. Which is a bit too say, or maybe you're still earning your money very well, that things are still okay. If anything happens, you still have money that can help you run. So I need to nagamba we most times live above our means because but savings is something whereby one of us mentioned about the FinScope survey. Nabalaganti 60% of Ugandans save money. Naye abasinga basaving just for the sake of saving, and some do not save consistently. But the other percentage basaving maybe for emergency funds. Me, I feel like today we need to really uncover the savings. Wanga oba ogenda saving or saving what is the goal after that money. If we are saving for cash rounds like Stuart said, what are you aiming to save it for? Because at the end of the day, we still find ourselves below the poverty line as Ugandans.
Exactly. Actually, nange kyenabadde neebuuza era mu bibiina bwe bakola kyenabadde neebuuza nti yes, you're talking about savings. But why should I save my money if I have stuff that I want to do at the end of the day? Because yes, I want to save. When saving it, is there an interest? or I would rather invest this money, Nimanyanti, it's going to keep reproducing than having it in the bank. You guys, have you ever had money in the bank? Wakwezaka interest ka 11,000 or 2K or 3K ushegera nayenga otaddemu a lot sente nga nyingi.
The more money you have,
yes, it's a lot of money, and you're thinking, wait a minute, after all this while, I'm worth 2,000, but you've been using my money. I
know, but now the FinScope report again gave an overview of how an ordinary Ugandan sobola kumala banga chi to survive.
Yes.
And they gave this in that time of the COVID-19. And the report says that the 2020 COVID-19 FinScope report indicates that showed that 57% of Ugandans would not be able to sustain their lifestyle after just 1 day of lockdown.
You can imagine.
Then 81% would not be able to sustain their lifestyle after 15 days. Until no, bano abantu banekolera jange babadde bafuna kikumi nakwata akavera natwalayo omugati ewaka. Nze nkola za bulijjo mmere ya leero. After 1 day of lockdown, they would not sustain themselves. Kubanga source away. Kakati bano ab'emisaala, bano aba corporate, WhatsApp, ze kufuna at the end of the month, 15 days. After 15 days, it would totally be cut off. Now, this is lack of financial preparedness. This lack of financial preparedness was partly accredited to the poor saving culture that we have. Kubanga katinga sobwabuziza, I save ntino chinyambidewa. Kubanga kati we as Ugandans we have a poor saving culture. Tetunaba kuyigirizibwa bulungi why we should save. Now because if I save money, Sue has asked a very imperative question. And do I save it in the bank? Within my circle, or kubanga kati wetugamba tutademo bank, what interest am I getting?
Yes.
Kubanga at the end of the day, this keeping the money has to benefit me.
Yeah, true.
That is why I liked what Stuart started us off with, that there are these other ways of saving.
Yes.
You know, they give you returns. By the way, cash rounds over bulaba. It is also another type of
treasure.
Angel natanda kubanga kati awo kitegeeza buli week mba savinga mutwalo naye nga era nga bwe wabuuziza Angel. At the end of the day, what is in your mind that why am I saving?
For it, yeah.
So if you're going to get 250,000 and atenga chibina chabachala, me I would want to believe Zemban saving utensils.
That's what they do.
Kubanga katinze. Chiyinza okunzibuwalira okukwata 250,000
n'ogenda ku nnyumba kuwa
naye ng'ate nga twakozeemu cash round nembanga buli week making sure noonyayo omutwalo gwange mujja kumpa 25 nfune esowaani ebikopo dishes ebyo ebintu birabikanga ebitono until you get guests.
Naye okimanyi nti 44% according to okusinziira ku gundi survey ya FinScope, 44% of Ugandans by 2023 survey gamba nti bakyakeepingira sente ewaka nga bakyasavingira waka. 44%.
That is
people do it.
Gundi kubanga report eno elaga nti mu 2018 twalina abantu 27% abali bakumira sente awaka. by 2023 percentage nekula to 44%. Now wotunulira village saving groups or VSGs a report yakula okuva ku bitundu 43 mu 2018 bitundu 43% nekula negenda ku 47% by 2023. Kino nno kiragira ddala nti ebibiina byaffe bino ebyokukyalo actually biina impact nene nnyo kubanga bw'obanga olina 47% of Ugandans saving their money from village saving groups, then zino ze tuyita gundi cash rounds bo basigala at 9%. Basigala at 9% kubanga munnaye security ya cash rounds nawo kubadde nga ziri very effective ne security olumuzi buzibu.
You guys, I want to add on what G said. I want to commend you for the lack of preparedness that you spotted out. What a week ago, I was with a lady. I think she's the one who started up some saving cooperative. Nangamba, do you want to join our cooperative? Nangamba, well, let me know what you have before I join in. Nangamba, to join our cooperative, you join with 1.5 million. I was like, I like the eyes you're giving me. So Nangamba, you'll be saving 100K per month. And then Balamu Nangamba,
100K.
1.5 million.
Ziri zibadde zaaki at first, 1.5.
Access to social network, access to this.
I beg your pardon?
Yes.
I'm coming.
Waliwo endala gye nnyenda okubuulira eri so much trending ennyo mu kibuga. Is that the one?
Ezo kirabika ntini nnyo kujoogena.
But I want to commend G and Stuart. Mo statistics zoyogedde. Olabira ddala that people are more comfortable with informal savings.
Yes.
Kubanga I can access that anytime. If I go to the bank jagamba, we're not seeing money, your account is dormant, but I feel like less effort is given to people.
Also for the fact that inti kukyalo mu meetinga buli week
Nazitereko mu manyi wasula manyi.
Ogenze n'akatabo ko ate n'ekirala kukyalo olw'okuba mwenna abakulu kuliko kufulu ka box kuliko kufulu mukaaga buli mukulu mugundi ku kakiiko ayinako ekisumuluzo kyatereka ekya kufulu emuso tomalaga gikula.
Like my neighborhood, we have that cash round, and so everyone sends 10,000. So after we give it to someone, but our constitution, which is
someone
not even,
for what?
It's informal.
It is informal, but you say according to the constitution, I cannot give out money if other members are not aware about it. So kaseko wakatusoko kufuna sente era tuzikuwa mu lujudde kana obato wadde mu eyo wiki tetuzikuwa wakitegedde. Yes, but I love the fact that in as much as we're having this saving culture growing, it is a discipline. Yes. It is a discipline. Whether you're getting 300K, kubanga is a G. When you're sharing that point, do you know that people in informal spaces have a more disciplined saving culture than people who are earning in the corporate space? Corporate space, guys, you know, the job got done. What was your saving culture? But I didn't, you know, I was preparing. I did all that. But over to you guys.
But kubanga kati kino ekintu, by the way, it is a very wide aspect. Stuart atugambye wano ntino 40%.
Yes, 44%.
44% of that money is in people's homes.
Yes.
Ate waliwo still ekintu kyoyogedde ntino omuntu abeera ku mulimu n'avaayo mulimu time n'elapsinga. Naye n'ogenda okusanga omuntu talina nyumba, talina taka, talina kamotoka, ne weebuuza naye wali ofuna millions. What happened to that money? Because teyalambikibwa bulungi. No, and I also want to be, I don't know what is happening. Maybe there must be a research. We are giving this back to our audience, those that are into research. Maybe you can research on it and find out why do Ugandans prefer to keep their money at home vis-a-vis saving it in institutions. You know?
Wakanyimidde mu statistics waliwo abantu 13% bobe bajja ne bagamba nti sange jini yazinterekera
kubanga they trust Jean naye kati why is that a trend that is going, because it is very dangerous to the economy because the more money is into banks, the more it can get into circulation. But when it is not into banks, that means even the inflation rate will go high. Now, if we get a research to be done, netumanya what exactly is going on.
But Jane, as you said earlier, the low interest rate, because here still in the monitor they came out and said that only 7% of Ugandans serve in commercial banks, indicating a preference for more accessible or trusted alternatives. Chovola and trusted. Chovola bantu omuntu ajja preferring okuteresa. I mean, so many times you've been home, bank newereza, we are very sorry for any inconvenience. Tomorrow, from this time to that time, to again acquire access.
There is a bank that already sends me upgrading maintenance almost like every weekend, and I'm like,
you're like
actually,
like as if you never have issues over the
there
weekend.
There is another side that we hadn't yet highlighted, which actually covers 42% of people. And now 42% of Ugandans by 2023 were saving their money on mobile phones. Mobile money. And you know why? It's because of 42% by 2023. By 2018, it was only 23% of Ugandans keep saving their money on mobile money. That is our telecom companies. And now it has grown. That is literally double to 42%. Accessibility of the money. Also, there is also a certain sense of security that has come up. There is also, I don't know, probably it's secure, but there is a sense of security that has now started being comprehended by people regarding their money on mobile phones.
But you know, Stuart,
but you never not forget that pain.
No, the way you would have a bank nti ekusalako ogenda okutuuka nga bakusazeeko bagamba nti okoze ogenze nosaba financial statement bakusazeeko this bakusalako bank charge for this bank charge for that.
Checking your balance on the phone, it's free of charge. Now also I want to believe that this aspect is brought about by the trust issues that we have with the banking institutions or these other institutions that hold our money, because we've heard of scandals.
Exactly, especially last year.
Yes, last year they were at the peak. You know, where monies had been stolen and removed from people's
and they hardly come back with accountability.
Back that money. Yeah. But also, I want to believe that this issue is brought about by the terms and conditions that we find in our banking institutions, or those institutions that are set up for us to keep the money there. The terms and conditions are too many. And when I am coming to save or to open the account, the terms and conditions are not as strict.
But when you're getting the money out,
so when I also say, nebakugamba signature eyasoka siwetyo bweri, tebakulaze wasaininga otya, ate tebakulaze eluwa ntuufu, nebagamba that's not how you write the bill.
Kyokka gwe omuntu woli oyina biometrics zo.
Meanwhile they only took the signature, they didn't take the biometrics. So kati bagamba ntino biometric tetuji.
But anyway, most of the banks recently they've upgraded
to biometrics,
which is a very good thing. But also when you look at Daily Monitor, they are fulumanga kuminanya April 2024. There were three people remanded from Equity Bank because of a fraud case. When you look at investigator news of 8th August 2024, Equity Bank amawulire agafulumira article yafulumiramu egamba nti Equity Bank bagibako billion obuwumbi 65 and other banks. When you look, of course I'm not trying to to mostly put emphasis on Equity Bank, but other banks, and we've had scandals on Muntu. There was a young man the other day who was saying bank emu yamujjako obukadde 15 ajjokebera sente ze taziraba bakadama abali Saudi Arabia abali mu mawanga ag'Abarabu sente zaabwe nga ziba abadde atereka sente mu bank emu, and mostly there was a specific bank erinnya lyayo lyali lyappearing for a very long time. N'atuuka agenda okukomawo nga bamugamba tewaliwo wadde sente, n'abeera awo okubanja sente ze tebamufaako, and you know, and they had to go to social media. So I think the sense of security that has come up into people's hearts, and they comprehend nti esaawa eno nti bwenteeka sente zange ku mobile money zijja kubeerako, you get. But can you imagine you have it's just what village savings schemes, village savings associations ezo. Okimanyi nti when you look at the statistics of 2023 ziraga nti actually abantu beesiga nnyo village associations zaabwe than even mobile money.
Oh yes.
But talking about this kind of security, before we jump to something else, but security, now that is one side of security. But we have also seen that having money in a banking institution and you go to withdraw it and someone is trailing you.
Yes.
Yesterday we had shootings in Chengera. Thieves attacked a man who had gone to withdraw money. And even last year, towards the end of the
even the beginning of
we had one in Kawempe, we had one at Acacia, we had
all these. And people are found in parking lots, people are found, and borders are tracking you. So if you, us having insecurity, people are insecure that having the money there is one thing, but also you moving your money. That is also connected to you know, being stable. That kind of stability that you know you can have your money, access it easily anytime without anyone no charges or even low charges, but you are safe. You are safe with your money. So the fact that that insecurity is also still there, and the kind of charges that are imposed on
the people.
It is also
but I think we shouldn't also neglect the fact that there are other institutions that have come up to help us with that issue. Until they assign you an agent. Nakugamba, when you serve for this period of time, you'll be able to get a certain rate of interest. That's why it's been made so accessible to even parents. Njagala kusasulira abana tuition, maybe at campus. Ebigwa bitalaze. Right now I can afford the tuition nezijanga sizisizana savings, yes. But campus, tetumanyi how much they pay right now. Maybe 10 years from now, my son will be at campus. I don't know how much they will be. And some are really expensive. I say, abana bachuse, institutions zichuse, even twetuka bichuse, omana inzo kusaba cost gene. Toina sponsor, so the best thing to do right now is to save now. Toina godfather inamu. So no gamba, let me save right now. And these institutions have come up. Nizigamba. Zina different packages. Nizigamba. Wano. If you would no saving at this period, by that time you won't even struggle. There is a lady that I know, a relative, who told us, you guys, if I'm to die right now, you just know you won't hustle to get money to bury me. My children will never hustle for tuition. Like everything is set. Simply because she got into the right company, got the right agents. Katifewa tukiro tugamba, in case anything happens, God forbid, we have a clue. We have a clue. So chitegeza aliwo muntu omulala responsible weyagama, maybe you go to this right institution. So different institutions have come up.
I want us to highlight something.
I wanted to hear from the audience in case they can use the number 0746405060 to join this discussion. What is your saving culture? Anyway, are you even saving money, or are you the one disturbing people for emergencies?
Mm.
Or what tagging on our social media handles? We'll be reading those comments as promptly as they come in. Let's get back. Yes, Stuart.
But we also want to remind our dear viewer on TV, or you're watching us from your workplace, and probably sometimes you miss out on a particular part of the conversation because you're engaged. You can always go back to our YouTube channel, Promise TV UG. Yes, Promise TV UG, and you'll find when you go on the live tab or channel conversations, and you can always catch up on it because we are live on YouTube right now. So there is something highlighting that there is something they call payable on death form.
Payable. Okay.
Payable on death form. Payable on this is something that most of us Ugandans don't know, but this is a form that necessitates a particular person okugenda okujayo sente zo singa ofa.
Okay. That's if you disclose.
Kubanga bw'obanga oyina account naye nga toyinaako muntu mulala as a signatory.
Next of kin.
Not next of kin. By the way, next of kin, omuntu okuba next of kin or angel, it doesn't guarantee or necessitate that omuntu ono asobola okwaccessinga your money.
So the signatory does what?
Topic.
Yes, the whole topic in itself.
Mbadde nja highlightinga kubanga Susan had mentioned something about that. So bogenda mu bank yo with your account, you can ask them for something like a payable on death form. And mu form eyo mulimu omuntu gwosobola, mulimu erinnya wooteeka nti singa ekintu kyonna kintukako nenva mu bulamu, omuntu ono asobola okujja okuwithdrawinga sente okuva ku account eno n'asobola okubanga azikozesa you get. Omuntu oyo yekka yasobola okujjayo sente ezo era abaira alina okuba ne national ID. That's what I wanted to highlight.
There's something that I want to commend Ugandans. They've adopted a system that seems okay. Especially the corporate world. They've taken on the bonds, they've taken on the government bonds, and they've embraced those
financial investments.
Exactly. Because and I also want to commend the government for the trainings and the different corporate companies. I know it is not, of course, secret, it's on record. The NSSF always does these financial trainings, and it goes to banking institutions everywhere, because it is their mandate to let you know why you should save, to let and also these days they are open enough to even show you these other banking saving options, especially like the ones Stuart was trying to show us. Now the bonds and the NSSFs and the OBRAs and all these things, they have come up and trained and taught Ugandans on how and why to save. So at the end of the day, I want to believe that much as there is not so much in the banks seated right now, and people, the 42% is still their money circulating within themselves, but also people have embraced these other ones, such that omuntu yeterekera mu bukadde bwe nebagamba nti no, people have taken up those bonds of 20 years, 15 years, you know, and they are payable every 6 months. So it is a very good thing, which I think we should all try to adopt.
When you talked about NSSF, I want to appreciate those guys. You know, not everybody may have access to that training, but the beauty is this. You can easily walk into that building, nobody know what you want, and they'll just assign you to someone. And this person is so free to share everything. Information. I have one guy, oh my God, may God bless that guy. Obeda, you start feeling guilt, you've not yet sent money. You yourself, you need to save. Susan, you need this man. Today you are this old. I'm telling you, give it a few months. You'll be that old. Okay. But they follow you up. They engage. They become friends. And that is the beauty. I love it. Because when someone becomes personal, it's different. I have someone to talk to. Yeah. Unlike, okay, the banks, because I mean, they even keep shifting them. I'm not decampaigning banks, yeah? But I believe we want that person really close to Gogamba. Yeah, a relationship manager, are you reliable? Gogamba, this is what it is. Naku advisor, single saving about. Obera sure you're going to earn this much. Every time we are, because very many people, actually why people don't save, it's because they're ignorant.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh. They don't know. Nti kati ampoli denga ngamba kasente kabayo katini. Nayo manyi ku kasente kameka oba kasente meka. You need to go and get the information.
Ku NSSF, your submission. I've been looking at interest rates with different banks here. You have, again, I'm mentioning Amanyaga banks, but you'll have a particular bank here that gives you 3.5% for cash that is above 100,000. That is interest. Then you have another bank that gives you 6%. That is per annum. 6%. Then you have another bank here that gives you 1.7%.
Per annum?
Yes, per annum. 2.25%, 0.20%. No, those that do USD, that is USD, US dollar accounts. 0.20%. But you can imagine a bank that goes ahead to give you 2.25%. And when you look at now NSSF, of course I'll mention NSSF because it's a government fund, it's government, so I think I'm free to mention it. But you'll imagine NSSF when you look at Smart Life Savers, where it gives you 12.37%.
Wow. Per annum.
Now you look at people that were not per annum, people who are saving with Smart Life for the month of January, they received 12.37%.
Which is a good
January.
one.
And that is January 2025. So I really want, when you look at, it's at their interest is literally at 10.9%. Which is
but I remember
average.
Was it this year still, when the percentages were released from NSSF, bananga abantu ne bogera sente zebafunye kale nga tebogera ne you would see people smiling. I remember Farida Nakazibwe when she came nagamba oba yatulaga interest here nagamba kati manyi muri mumbalira mwagala kumanya mekaze nenga ne interest nga zisinga ziri kwa kawa
I believe the culture is there, but it needs to be enlightened more. Ugandans need to be taught about setting better goals for saving, which places to save and which places to invest.
And which culture is supposed to be nurtured when they are young. Olaba abana bano. I'm a victim. Mwana n'omutera akantu simanyi guni mekaze tukoze bu bank sobo twabane ku pigi kwa bigi eyo banonya password. So you start with the small things. Go monitoring akasente kabadde. This one time ask where is the money? I bought gorilla. No, you bought gorillas? I thought we are aiming at something big, but they don't have that patience. Like that patience, steady. I think also as the parents, we need to put in. I
think the whole reason why it was like that, it was too accessible for him. If it's in a place where
I saw our family. I went to a family. They have that same teen, and this girl, I think she's 4 years. Akugama auntie mpayo 200. I put in my piggy, and when you hear her reason, you're like, why not I release actually 1,000? And that thing is almost full. I know we make it singa kowano. But think as a gamanti chivaku example. When this child sees you putting the money there, not opening it to go and save, to go and spend it. You should also do the same thing. Nze manyi okubabuuza olina ssente bw'obeera olina nga tugula bw'obeera tolina you're gonna go without what you want but it's a culture gy'obasomesa from the time when they were young. Nja kubuuza gye did you have a piggy bank when you were young? Did you have a piggy bank? Obyeyigiriza kati
n'oddayo ssente nga zonna
piggy bank twakolera twazi
tetwalinanga obuboxi naye mami n'amala akatekaawo kumpi asanga okamenye because you have needs.
kuliko obusumaali.
You were using the knife to
you can even create a kahole.
I think for me when growing up I had a cousin. That guy had a very good saving culture. That guy yasulanga coins nga asula cent. Now allegedly a bigger cousin of ours, big sister. Again nagenda najjawo akaboxi najjamu embapola zonna namulekeramu coins.
That is bad. Actually, that is stealing.
For me, this is how I want to sign out. That regardless of whatever amount of money you're getting, you still have a chance to save. Oli omukyala gwe bangamba afuna 15 million, but in 2 weeks she's like, guys, pay 100K, pay 100K. This
15
conversation.
million?
Yeah, I had a breakfast meeting with this lady, but she told me so many things. Now, she has a friend who gets 15 million. But after 2 weeks, I'm going to pay 100K. Nyambisako.
Asabiriza.
Yes. Then they sat down and said, but you know what, you get your 15 million. Where is the money going? And they realized the money is going in clothes, the money is going in shoes, the money is going in party life. Every weekend there is a plot. So my message to Ugandans today, especially regarding saving, is that you have to start now. It is a discipline and not just maybe a method.
That is right.
I really think also it's because of the complacence. When you hear such an individual, that money after 15 million, in their mind this money is so much.
Yes.
Of course it's much. But olokubanti gamba 15 million is sente weziri sobola okugenda ko out sobola okugenda ko plot eno sobola okwegulirako engoye because sente weziri tezigenda kumala gaggwawo kati complacence eyo etandika okuleetera okulowooza nti man, the money is there, and before you know it, you've blown it up.
And it's all done. Jay, how do you want to sign out?
Whatever option you get, saving is saving. Use whatever option. If the option right now that you have is for you to have a village saving group, it's okay. Don't think those that are getting 10 million, 11 million, we all start from somewhere. So if you're saving, if you get an opportunity to save with your women's group, it's fine. If it is your girls group, it's also fine. However little, but as long as you are saving, that is okay, and it will be good for you.
And I want to encourage you, dear Ugandans, abatulaba, don't just save. Find ways of investing. Find ways of investing instead of just saving. Yes, osobola okuteekawo somewhere emergency, but make sure now oteeka sente zo wagenda kubeerawo returns. It will help you.
Yes. Well, me from my case, I would say is that the options are many. Saving options are quite many. But before you choose that option, get all the information, all the details. Because at the end of the day, we don't want you to come out and say, maybe saving biganye because buli gwe percentage zange tali honest enough. If it's an institution, find out all the information that you require. When it comes to the rate, the interest rate, be informed. Can you access the money? Can you access it whenever you want it, or it's after a given period of time? Don't just put because someone is putting, and also have a goal. Better a goal. Government, okay, certain savings for this long because I have this target, and at the end of the day, I'll be able to achieve it. Be very mindful where you put your money. Don't just put money because somebody is doing the same.
Wow. Also, we do close it up with Mark saying that also the discipline of budgeting before money comes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Nagamante, we should continue also to, he commends NSSA for doing a good job with their financial literacy classes. So, on a Finger Sunrise talk show, crew twagala kukutegeza nti save mu capacity nga buli mubwagambye in the capacity that you can. If it is village, if it's women saving, or if it's bank, be comfortable with what will work for you, but make sure regardless of whatever amount you have, save that money for the future. We sign out right here and right now, and from us to you want to say bye bye. We'll be signing again tomorrow same time, 6:45 a.m. Coming up is kindergarten. See you.
Welcome to the Sunrise Show. My name is Angel Walker, a reptile